Hi, I'm Afia Yana, and this is a new yoga class we're starting. And basically, so Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m., we're going to be doing this class. I really want the focus of this to be finding ease, just finding what feels good in your body and finding what's your yoga flow, what feels good. So most importantly is breathing. I've been on a yoga journey for a long time, and for me, really where I found the most liberation is in the breath. So if at any time what we're doing today, you find that you're not breathing, just ease back, pull it way back, and get back into your breath. So the first thing we're going to start with today is just some grounding. So you can stand up if you want to. If you want to, I know it's a little bit early in the morning. If you're more of a need to get up and get in your body right away, you can stand up. But most importantly, we're just going to settle into the breath. So I invite you just to inhale your hands up above your head wherever you are. And even if you started doing this practice in a chair, that would be fine. And then exhaling your hands back to your heart center. And out the mouth. And inhaling the hands up above the head. And exhaling the hands back to the heart center. And one more time. Inhaling the hands up above the head. And exhale the hands to the heart center. And wherever you are, just taking a moment to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And just settling into your reason, your intention for showing up this morning. Maybe it's to just wake up. Maybe it's to feel good. Maybe it's to release some stress. And I just want you to create for yourself a one sentence, I am sentence, an affirmation. So of something that if during this practice you find that you feel like you need a little focus and a little oomph, that you come back to this sentence for yourself. So it might even just be, I am joy. Or whatever's the first word that comes into your head is fine. And also just acknowledging where you're at to begin with today. You don't have to change that. You don't have to do anything about it. But just feeling yourself wherever you are in space and time, the surface that's beneath you, your spine that's supporting you, even the pulse of can you identify the pulse of your heartbeat, the feeling of the breath coming in and out of the nose, in and out of the mouth, and just bringing that awareness into the body as a tool. And then slowly, when you're ready, opening up the eyes, and we're going to come into standing and into some Qi Gong breath practices to start off with. So standing with feet width apart, you are going to settle into your body, inhaling the hands up above the head, rising this energy above the body, and exhaling out the mouth as we bring the hands down to the side. And then inhale the hands up above the head, and exhale the hands down through the center line of the body as you're bending the knees gently. Inhale, reaching and gathering this energy, or you might think of it as Qi. Qi, this means life force energy. And exhaling, pressing this energy down. So inhale, bringing this earth energy up to the sky. You might even look up towards your fingertips, and exhale, bringing the sky energy down to the earth. Inhale, using the power of the breath. And exhale, through the central line of the body. We're going to switch that and inhale the energy up through the center of the body, extending up through the fingertips, and exhale, sweeping out anything that might be standing in your way, any doubts, worries, things for the day to come. Inhaling up, and exhale, sweeping out and just creating a clean energy force, life force around your body, inhaling up. In the Egyptian system, we call this the Ka. So we're working to build the Ka, or the energy body around the body with this breath. So if we're using conscious breath, exhaling the arms down, we're increasing our life force energy, using our awareness and our focus to gather strength in our bodies, in our minds, and in our spirits. Beautiful. And one more time, inhaling the arms up and exhaling the arms out to the side. Hands coming to the heart center. And closing the eyes, just feeling the feet grounded into the ground. You might even have a micro bend in the knees here. Just feeling the feet, the strength of the feet rooted into the ground. Feeling the length and the strength of the spine as it cascades up from the legs, from the hips. And how, as you rotate the shoulders up and down and back, you have a little more length in your neck, and in imagining that even you might have a string that's pulling up the top of your head. So you can slowly open up your eyes, and we're just going to move into some joint circles. This is called joint freeing exercises. So we begin with the head first. So bringing the chin down towards the chest and inhaling the head to looking over the left shoulder. Exhaling the head back down towards center, and inhaling the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhaling and then exhaling the chin down towards the chest. So we're just taking little slight circles, semicircles, a U shape, and then the left ear to left shoulder. Cascading the chin down towards the chest, right ear, right shoulder. Feels really good to open up the side of the neck. You might even rotate the arms out to the side, and then exhale the chin down towards the chest, extending through the fingertips to get more of a stretch to the scalenes of the right side of the neck. Inhaling and then exhaling the chin down towards the chest. And one more time, right ear, right shoulder. And exhaling, chin down towards the chest, and the head coming back up towards the center line. And why we're not doing head circles to begin with is we really want to just, I know when I wake up in the morning, if you sleep funny, if you're sleeping on a pillow, if you're side sleep, the front sleep, the back sleep, or whatever, a lot of times the neck will find constriction. So we really want to be careful first thing in the morning with the way we move the neck, and that the body's nice and warm. So the next thing we'll be doing is doing semicircle head circles, looking up towards the sky. So inhaling the chin up towards the chest, or towards the sky, and left ear, left shoulder. Nice and strong through the fingertips, elongated through the fingertips, inhaling the chin up towards the sky, right ear to right shoulder. Inhaling the chin up towards the sky, left ear comes to left shoulder on the exhale. And inhale the chin up towards the sky. Right ear comes to right shoulder. And you might notice the more that you press the fingertips down as if someone's pulling the fingers into the ground, you're going to get a stretch through the left scalene, the left side of the neck. And so then we'll gently bring the chin up towards the sky as if you have a pencil on your chin and you're drawing a circle. Can you draw a nice semicircle as you bring the left chin, the left ear to the left shoulder, and then extending through the right side of the neck, extending the fingertips nice and far and strong apart, really opening up your cat paw. You would think about your hand as a paw, and opening up the right fingertips and getting a nice stretch in the right side of the neck. And bringing the head back up towards the ceiling and bringing the head back to the center. And closing the eyes again, just grounding into the feet, and then just noticing, bringing your awareness into your neck and noticing, is there any change in the neck since when you started? For me, I noticed a little bit of tingling sensation in the neck. and just some warmth. So just noticing, allowing the body to create some biofeedback, some information. So being aware of, and I also feel like there's been so much going on lately that it's been, maybe you've had a tendency to kind of let your body not take in information. So as we're doing this practice, allowing the body and the breath to inform and allow us to come into our aliveness a little bit more. So let's take some shoulder circles. Inhaling the shoulders up and down and back. If you're sitting in your chair, you can still be doing this. Inhaling the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhaling the elbows down and back, opening up the palms, inhaling the shoulders up toward the ears, and exhale on a vocal side, let the elbows come back together and down. Whatever sound wants to come up, inhale to have the ears, shoulders up towards the ears, and exhale the elbows down with the audible sound, inhaling the shoulders up. And exhaling one more time with the audible sigh. And switching direction, inhaling the shoulders up. Rotating the shoulders up towards the front of the body. And the shoulders up. Squeezing towards the neck. And exhale, gently releasing the elbows down and out towards the sides. Inhaling the shoulders up. And exhaling the elbows down towards the side. We'll take some hip circles here. So just allowing this, we might call this stirring the pot in Kundalini Yoga. And just thinking of if the hips and the body hold an emotional energy, in yoga we say that a lot of energy is stored in the hips. So just inhaling and moving, allowing the hips to move around towards the sides, stirring the pot up the emotional belly. The way we say we have intelligence in our stomach, or, ooh, I can feel it in my stomach, or that doesn't feel good. Sometimes when something doesn't sound right with you, even emotionally, you might feel it in your stomach. So just allowing the breath to really begin to open up energy in the belly, awareness in the stomach. Inhaling the hips around, exhaling, pushing the pelvis forward, and just loosening up the hips. And it's great because you're at home, so no one's watching. But you can really just let yourself go here. And then switching directions in the opposite direction, exhale, can you really find, are there any points in the hips where it might feel a little stuck or a little kind of crickety? So inhaling the hips forward, exhaling a sigh of relief as you move the hips around to the back. Make it fun for yourself. Inhale the hips around. Exhale, really reaching the hips back. And one more time, inhale the hip around. And exhaling the hips towards the forward, towards the front. And we'll do next knee circles, which is one of the biggest joints in the body. So, as you might have heard, my ankles cracking, which have a lot to do with the tightness from sometimes the hips and some tightness that might be happening in the knees. So bending the knees nice and gently. You can even warm up your hands here. If it's comfortable for you, you might be able to place your hands close to your thighs or even down on your knees, bending the knees, and then inhaling and rotating the knees around in circles, inhaling forward. And you're also going to find that you're moving and shifting around onto all four corners of the feet. So if I get a little bit closer, you can see I'm moving the knees around and really rotating on all four corners, all four sides of the feet. Inhaling around. And while we're moving these joints in this way, bringing this awareness, this synchronization of the breath and the movement, as with the body, especially as gravity and age happens, it's really important. The only way we can keep the synovial fluid, which is basically the fluid that lubricates the joints, the way we keep this fluid moving in the body is only by moving. And the fluid actually increases through movement and through breath, and bringing more oxygenation and more movement to the joints actually creates the more synovial fluid. So You might even notice if you have any type of arthritis in your body or in your family, you might notice that you actually feel worse when you're moving less. So it seems contrary if the body or the joints are having pain to want to move. But you'll notice that as you just do these little simple things to move the body around, that you'll actually begin to feel better. It's just moving through that first barrier to begin with. And then switching the opposite direction, again, you might be beginning to be feeling some warmth in the knees from the hands on the knees and the rotation around the joints. This is a really great exercise for all ages, but especially for seniors and elders. It's a really safe exercise. And then next, we're going to be moving to the ankles, and very simply, just bringing the right foot up, and you can bring your big toe down, and then just taking nice ankle circles here. Rotating the ankle around in one direction, coming back to that synchronizing breath, synchronizing the breath and the movement, being aware of this connection, and notice even for yourself that if pain happens in the body or an awareness of sensation that might be registering in the brain as pain, that sometimes the breath stops. So just reconnecting that biodynamic feedback of allowing the breath to not stop, but to move through the pain. And then switching directions and the opposite direction, moving the ankle around, inhaling and exhaling. And then give that a shake out. If you need to, you can hold on to something to balance the body out. And then bringing the left toe, pressing it into the ground, and then just giving nice circles, 3 circles around the ankle in one direction, and then switch into the other direction. Beautiful. All right. And then standing again in your mountain pose, which is the hips, feet width distance apart, grounding into the feet, coming back to that intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of class, just noticing any difference between perhaps when you first started, how is the body feeling? You could even close the eyes and just check in. Are you feeling warm? Are you feeling, how's the mind feeling? How's the spirit feeling, maybe even more awake? And just noticing what's coming up for you and then letting that go. Beautiful. We'll move into one more Qi Gong exercise, which is the breath and movement, life force energy exercise. We'll inhale the arms up above the head, the feet more than hip width distance apart, hands coming to touch above the head. Inhale up, and then you're going to exhale, bending the legs into a squat or goddess pose. Exhaling the arms back. Inhaling the arms in front of the heart into prayer pose. And then exhale, straightening the legs, sweeping the arms up above the head, and inhaling the hands back to the heart. So that's one rotation. So inhaling the arms up above the head. Exhale, bending the legs, sweeping back, bending forward, inhaling up into goddess pose, hands in front of the heart, or warrior pose, and exhale, straightening the legs, sweeping the arms up, inhaling the hands to the heart. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up, exhale, sweep back. Inhale, hands to the heart, exhale, sweep the hands around, inhale the hands to the heart. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale the hands to the heart. Exhale, coming all the way up. Inhale the hands to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, sweeping back. Nice and strong through the legs. Inhale the hands to the heart. And exhale, straighten. We'll bring this all together. Inhale the hands to the heart, sweeping back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, hands to the heart. And exhale, sweeping around. Inhale the hands to the heart. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale into your squat. Exhale, straightening the legs. And one more time, inhale the hands to the heart. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale the hands, prayer. And exhale. So just bringing in this section of breath and body awareness, exhale. Just finding what feels good in your body. If you're finding something that's a little bit more natural for you, just coordinating the arms up. Exhale, sweeping back. Finding ease in the movement and strength. Finding the releases of leg straighten. And one more time, inhaling the arms up. Exhale, sweeping back. Inhale up to prayer. And exhale, the hands up above the head. And the hands back to heart center. Beautiful. So coming to the top of your mat, we're going to come to Tadasana Pose, or even if you don't have a mat, a lot of times I don't have a mat, we'll even throw a towel down on the floor, so wherever you're standing, but just coming into so you have enough room to move your hands around you and enough room to put your legs out back behind you. So inhaling the arms up above the head, and then exhale, bending forward, bending the knees, a forward fold here. And you might even grab feet or hip width distance apart, and you can grab onto your elbows here, and a slight micro bend in the knees, and just let the head and the neck come forward, and then just breathing into the belly here. You might even allow the belly to rest on the top of the thighs, beginning to synchronize the breath and the movement again. Coming back to the inhale through the nose. And this time, if you're feeling like you're warming up in the body, you might exhale through the nose. Allowing the weight of the head to create some stretch and some space in the vertebra, in the neck vertebra. Taking one more inhale here, into the back of the legs, into the back of the hamstring. And then exhaling, releasing the arms down towards the floor or towards the thighs, and then inhaling up to a flat back. So you can place your hands on your knees, you can place your hand on your thighs, and you want to think about the back as being a tabletop. So inhaling up, extending through the ears here. We pull up on the tops of the hamstrings and the tops of the thighs to create a nice strength in the legs. And then you can even inhale the arms back if that's feeling comfortable for you. Exhale all the way forward into forward fold. And then we're going to slowly roll up to the count of 8. So keeping the weight in the heels, allowing the arms to spaghetti flop forward, and then exhaling, rotating the tailbone under. The head begins, the head and the neck are the last thing to come up, and then using the core strength, rotating up through the middle of the spine, rotating up through the sides of the ribs, gently gaining some strength and length in the back of the neck, rotating the shoulders up and down and back, allowing the arms to come out towards the sides, and then the head and the neck are the last thing to come up. And pressing into all 4 corners of your feet, so you might even want to think about your toes spreading nice and wide onto the mat or onto the floor. You could think about reaching into your heels, into your little toe, into your big toe, and really rotating the shoulders up, down, and back, and opening up into the front body. The palms are facing forward. So you could even imagine that someone is standing beneath you, pulling the hands down. So you're getting some nice stretch and lengthening in the scalenes, in the side of the neck. And then rotating the shoulders up and down and back one more time. We want to check our alignment here so that the feet are underneath the hips underneath the heart are supporting the shoulders and then the head, right? Creating a nice vertical line. It's beautiful. You're doing great. So inhale the hands up above the head for a nice forward fold. We'll move into a little bit of a little sun salutation here. Exhaling forward. A modified sun salutation. Inhaling up to flat back. Imagining the tabletop as you're here. And then exhale, you can bring the hands down to the ground, and you're going to lift the right foot to come back into a runner's lunge, bringing the right knee down onto the ground, bringing the right top of the foot onto the ground, and then pressing up into the left thigh, inhaling the hands up above. And then exhaling the hands out to the side. Out into cactus arms. So inhaling the arms up into your runner's lunge, and exhale an audible sigh out the mouth as you come to cactus arms. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling the arms out into your cactus arms, and one more time, inhaling the arm up. Arms up to reach and touch above the head. And this time, exhaling the hands down to come, framing both sides of the left foot. And then bringing the left hip back to be parallel with the right hip. And then coming into a little bit of a forward fold. You can press into the heel so that the left toes are coming up towards the sky. It might be too much for you to touch the ground here. If you had blocks, you could place blocks here. If you had books, you could place books here. Or if it's comfortable for you, you can just keep your hands on your hip here and then just gently even reach slightly forward if this is comfortable for you. So you get a little bit of a stretch in the back of the hamstring. And if this feels like too much of a stretch in the back of the hamstring, you pull up on the back of the leg and bend the knee slightly. Inhaling up and exhaling forward. I know I'm a runner, so I have a lot of tightness recently in the back of my hamstrings and hips. So this is a really big stretch for me. And it might be for you too. So inhaling and really using the breath. The breath is by bringing that awareness and focus of the breath into the muscles, we actually can lengthen and bring some relief and more oxygenation actually into the muscle fibers itself. So where our focus goes, our energy goes. And when you're ready, releasing that and bending the left knee and placing both hands so that they're framing around the left foot. Bring the left foot back so that the knee is on the ground. And we're going to come into a cat-cow here. So inhaling the chin up toward the sky. Breathing into the front of the belly, releasing the tailbone back, opening up both hips, equal pressure in the hands, equal pressure in the top of the feet, and looking up, gazing up towards the sky, breathing into the front of the neck, and exhaling, finding that relationship between the top of the head and the bottom of the tail, looking down towards the belly button. Finding some breath and some space in the back of the shoulder blades. Inhaling the chin and the chest up towards the sky. Breathing into the front of the belly. Can you release the front of the groins? And then exhaling, finding that relationship as you're looking back towards the belly button, coming into your Halloween cat position, pressing into the top of the hands, the top of the feet here. Nice and active. And one more time, inhaling the chin and the chest up and back. Exhaling into your Halloween cat. And one more time, inhaling the chin and the chest up towards the sky. Tailbone, the hip flexors spreading here. And you might even look over the left shoulder, looking back towards the left side of the hip. What's going on back there? And then again, looking over the right shoulder, creating a C shape on the right side of the body. And then coming back to neutral, and then one more time. Left shoulder touches left hip. You can almost imagine them reaching together. And then coming back to central and neutral, and then right shoulder touches right hip. Inhaling again one last time. Left ear comes towards left hip. Inhaling to center, and then exhaling as you're compressing the right side of the body, right ear comes to right hip. Coming back to neutral, and you can come back here into child's pose. So letting the feet come together into a V shape, the knees coming as wide as your towel or mat, or wider than hip width distance. And then just gently walking the elbows down to the ground. And if that's comfortable for you, you can place both the palms of the hands together and create a little pillow to just relax here for a second. Or if it's more comfortable for you, you can walk your fingertips all the way out and forward. And we're going to come back to this resting position or child's pose. Inviting the awareness back into the back body. Coming back to the intention that you set for yourself, that affirmation for yourself at the beginning of class, I am. Bringing the focus and the awareness of the breath. This calming pose, the biofeedback of the head pressing into the floor. And just allowing the calmness and the ease of this position to wash over you. And still keeping with that conscious inhaling and exhaling. So you might even walk the fingertips a little bit further. That's comfortable for you. You might even shake the tailbone back and forth as if you had a tail. Rotating from one side of the hips to the other side of the hips, from one side of the forehead to the other side of the forehead. It's kind of rolling out any worry lines on the forehead as you move the head from the right side to the left side. The shoulders widening, the hips widening here. Really allowing the belly to have lots of space, just releasing the belly. There's no reason to hold on to anything. Just let it all hang out. So the way you win at this pose is just by letting it all hang out. So you might even find that as you're relaxing here, that your front body becomes closer and closer to the floor. The belly might be really relaxing and releasing onto the floor. And then extending your awareness into the back body here. Breathing into the back side of the heart. Into the back of your warrior heart. There's been so much happening. So many ups and downs and stressors and not knowing what the heck was going to happen, especially in the past week. Just allowing that release, that sense of release, allowing the breath to massage the heart. Can you feel the breath creating more space in the body? Beautiful. And then when you're ready, you move, moving the fingertips around on the top of the surface, bringing some awareness into the fingertips and walking the fingertips one hand back behind the other, up towards the knees. Very beautiful. And then coming up into all fours here. And we're going to work into a small, what I would call a small, I don't know, we'll call it, I don't like the word chaturanga because I don't do chaturangas, but it's basically like a soft push-up. So you want to think about pressing into your arms, pressing into all fours. We're in this tabletop position. And what we're going to do is, by kind of what we're doing with extending into our child's pose, but allowing the hips to come forward, and then slowly as the hips come forward, squeezing the elbows towards the sides of the body, and then allowing yourself to gently push down. So first your chin and your chest comes down to the ground. And you'll notice the hips are up, and then I'm going to inchworm forward, rotate my shoulders up and down and back, press into the tops of the feet, and then inhale up into this Cobra position. Striking Cobra. So my hands are pressing into the ground, basically in line with the breast or the chest, and pressing into the top of the floor, elbows squeezing to the side of the body, inhaling the chin and the chest up, nice and strong through the body. You might be Superman, the arms back, inhaling the arms up behind you, and you might even lift the legs up off of the floor here into your Superman or Superwoman position. So inhaling nice and strong, straightening through the back body, and then release the feet down to the ground if they're not already on the ground. Release the hands down towards underneath the sides of the breast, and then squeezing the breastbone, and then squeezing the sides of the body with the elbow, and then releasing the forehead down to the ground here. Beautiful. And breathing into the front of the body and releasing down. Good relief. Coming back to your intention, and then one more time we're going to take this Cobra Pose. So pressing into the hands first, pressing into the tops of the feet, squeezing the elbows with the side body, and then nice and strong through the neck, but not using the neck to pull up, using the core and the strength of the back to squeeze up. And you might only come a few inches off the ground, or maybe just 1 inch, or maybe just barely your head lifts off the ground. Wherever you is that are, that's fine. So inhale up, and then exhaling the head back down. Beautiful. And then one more time we're going to do that, but this time we're going to reach our hands behind us. So the forehead is on the ground, reaching the right hand back toward the left, straightening out the hand. You might even interlace the fingers behind your back here, and really imagine someone's pulling the hands so that you're getting that nice stretch inside of your sternums. So inhaling, breathing into the front body, and imagine someone's pulling your arms up. So pressing the feet into the top of the ground, the arms coming back, breathing into the belly here, and the head is just nice and gently parallel, the chin parallel to the ground. And with in the next exhale, release yourself all the way back down. Beautiful. The hands come back to frame the sides of the body, tucking the toes under, and then however it feels good for you, you might come straight up into a plank, you might come up onto your knees, you might just come back however you get there, back to all fours. Beautiful. And when you're ready, pressing into the hands, rotating the weight forward, and gently coming up into the knees. The feet are hip-width distance apart, and coming into this pyramid or downward dog. So inhaling the head forward, exhale, allowing the heels to come back down towards the ground. Maybe they don't touch the ground, that's okay. It took me a really long time, about 20 years for my heels to ever touch the ground, and they're not even touching the ground right now. It just depends on every day. So inhaling, nice and strong through the arms. The arms are about half arm width apart. Inhaling to the belly, exhaling the heels down. You can release the head up, shaking it back and forth. Yes, shaking it back and forth. No, thank you. Inhaling the energy up the back of the legs. Maybe a micro bend in the knees here. Widening through the hips, allowing the head to come back. If this is too much for you, you can come back to your child's pose. You're just going to do 3 breaths here. But if it's comfortable for you, stay here for one more breath in your downward dog. Inhaling, micro bend in the knees, building up the pose and the energy up the back body, letting that energy cascade out the top of the head on the exhale. And then wherever you are, if you're in the child's pose, come and meet us in downward dog. And then we're going to walk the feet one in front of the other back to the top of the mat. So you're going to imagine you have some high heels on, or you're just high stepping it. So you place the right foot into the center of the mat, crisscross the left foot over the right foot in front of the left foot. You might even be up on your tiptoes. So toe to heel, each foot, one foot in front of the other until you come up into a forward fold here. Feet hip width distance apart, and grab a hold again to both sides of your elbows. Releasing, hasping at the waist forward, bending the knees here again. Releasing the top of the head and the neck forward. Breathing into the back. Exhaling out the mouth. You might even want to do some horselets here if you're familiar with that. You inhale in the nose and exhale out and flutter the lips on the exhale. Feels so great, especially because nobody's watching. You're just at home by yourself. And inhale in through the nose and releasing out. One more horselets. Beautiful. And releasing arms down. Bending the knees and slowly coming up to flat back. Inhaling the hands to the thighs. Nice and flat tabletop here. You could even place a cup of tea on your back. And then exhaling, bending forward. And this time rolling up, coming up, all the way up to standing to Tadasana. Inhaling your arms up above the head. And the hands back to the heart center. Beautiful. And one more time, inhaling the arms up above the head to bring that oxygenation back to the heart. Gathering that energy to